Hello. Oh, camera's not up. One more camera to pull up. Where are we with you? That one. There we go. E. I think we're in. We're good. We're good to go. Yee. Okay. Try and keep that as much out of the camera as I can, whilst still giving all the light necessary for you to see this guy's goofy face that I've painted. I'm gonna need some work on that. He needs a little bit of help and a bit of TLC to get him looking right. I'm just gonna close the door so I don't disturb anyone in the house. All right. Hello there. Hello, Neurotic. Yeah, I'm doing all right, thank you. It's been about a week since I've picked up the paintbrush, so I didn't want to miss doing a stream to make sure I got a little bit of practice in. I forgot I was doing this guy. I came back to look at him and was like, oh, what did I do to his face? He looks so goofy. But we'll see how we go with that. Yeah, it's been busy times, so it's been hard to get any time to actually paint. Mostly in the free time, I've been trying to, whenever I get time to myself, been trying to do as much of the editing of my next Defiance video, and those ones just take some time. I have the first 2 turns up on, they're up for my very few patrons that I have. So they kind of get early access to episodes, and as I kind of finish a section of the video, it kind of goes up for them early. And so that's coming along. I'm kind of liking the new format that I've got. I'm having more fun with it as well. It doesn't feel quite as much of a slog as it was when I was editing the other ones. I'm feeling like I should probably try and intersperse it with a few more of my other Defiance videos that I was making, like the little guides and things. Those seem to go down quite well with some people. So I think that'll be a good idea to kind of jump back into that process again. So I'm going to just kind of skirt out some of the highlights for this robe. There we go. All right. But yeah, anyway, how are you doing, Neurotic? I hope you're well. Are you working on any painting at the moment? It's making everyone's lives hard at the moment. It's crazy. Where are you at the moment? Where do you live? Because that obviously has a big effect on it. But here in Japan, like, I mean, it seems to be kind of under control to a certain extent. There's still high numbers and things, but everyone's just extra cautious, which is good. But it's just meant that I haven't been able to go out and actually meet people for a long time. not too bad because I've got family and things, so that's different, you know. Family kind of takes up a lot of your time anyway. But oh my god, it's made work so busy for me. Just we have to deal with a lot more things because of COVID. Oh, but yeah, it's getting quite tiresome after this. Oh, you got it. Oh no. Oh, I hope you're alright. Yeah, take care. If you're 6 days in, that's just now you're just isolating, I guess, and kind of just feeling a bit rough, I'd imagine. I remember feeling rough when I got it. To be honest, when I got it, I locked myself in this room. So I spent a week just stuck in this room by myself. So I just painted. Like, that's all I could do, really. I couldn't really do any other work. I didn't want to sit in front of a screen. So I just sat and painted. And I got loads. I finished off all my Infinity Shazvasti. And I was pretty happy about that, to be honest. I got quite a bit done, actually. I hope you're trying to at least make some use of the time you have at home. Oh, right, that sucks. Yeah, I had a little bit of medicine that I was taking that the doctor gave me. I don't know how much it helped or anything. I'm sure it did help quite a bit, but I just remember like the first few days was like really hard to breathe. Like I could imagine like if you have like a pre-existing condition, why this thing is just nuts for people. Luckily, I have no pre-existing conditions or anything, but I could understand how people feel like it's like how it could get really bad for some people. But yeah, but it's just slowed down everything. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll come out of it eventually. It'll just become a bit more like a common flu or something like that. Mind you, flu can be pretty bad. The problem is not so much the fact that its symptoms are similar to flu, but just the infection rate causes it to spread like wildfire. And from that, it becomes dangerous. Or more dangerous. Actually, what was it? There was that app on the iPhone. Is it Plague Inc? Yeah, the breathing issues were nuts. I just remember that passed, and then it just kind of fell into a regular kind of just sickness and things. But I remember the tight-chestedness kind of stayed around for a long time. It seems to have cleared up on me for now. I know there's also people that seem to have had it for a very long time afterwards. I remember having it for a good month afterwards, still feeling pretty like breathy. I feel all right now. For me, I'm just out. I'm just not very fit anymore. And my more a problem with my actual limbs. Just not quite doing what I want them to do. That's got nothing to do with COVID. It's just me being unhealthy. But I do wish you all the best, and that you feel a lot better soon, and you can get back into a rhythm of things, because it absolutely sucks getting COVID. Hello Linda, long time no see. Good morning, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. been a while since I kind of missed my Saturday stream last week. I felt kind of a bit guilty about it, but I was spending some family time. We were watching a movie, I think. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend time with the family, just kind of watching a movie together and chilling. I can't remember for the life of me now what we watched, but it was just nice kind of just chilling with family. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take a hit on my painting for one day. We kind of needed it. But I was like, I'm definitely not missing Thursday. I've got to make sure I get on and do a bit, because I haven't done any painting all week because I'm editing. So today's my break from editing. Although I may, after the stream, do a bit of voice recording. Yeah, there's a difference between painting for painting and painting for painting for the tabletop, right? To get some games in, your standards are going to change. These ones are going to be kind of semi-tabletop stuff, because I'm not actually going to be using these. I'm looking to sell these ones, but I wanted to see if painting them up. I want to paint everything first before I sell it. I've got a bunch of old 40k stuff that is just kind of taking up space, and I was like, you know what? I've had some of these for 20 years, and I've never painted them. That's what I got to do. Okay, I get an idea there for roughly where all of the highlights are going on the cloak. Yeah, family's first. Yeah. The family's doing well. Just kind of recovering from the Christmas financial hit, I guess. It always takes a toll on. You come out of it and go, oh yeah, I got to pay for things now. It's nuts. So yeah, I was hoping to get a 3D printer over Christmas holidays, but I just couldn't justify it. So this is again why I'm kind of painting up these models, because I'm going to sell them, and that money is going to go towards hobby things, which includes a 3D printer for myself. You can let it all go, let go, free fall. Sorry, I'm listening to music myself. I kind of removed music off the stream because I think it really, most people are probably going to be listening to their own music when they have a stream on with painting, and you're kind of just watching in the background more and catching some things. So I don't mind me if I just start singing along to songs, because I've just kind of got music that I kind of like to listen to. Not that I'm a good singer. I'm an awful singer. If you ever go to karaoke with me, you'll find that out. But I have fun with it, I guess. You can let it all go, it's going to... I also forget the words, and I could end up mumbling a lot of the songs that I sing. But no, I found who is it on I kind of came up in my kind of not recommended, but when I was listening to some of the stuff that I like to listen to, when your music kind of finishes, it starts just giving you stuff that's kind of similar, or what other people listen to that listen to the stuff that you listen to, kind of thing. And this one came up of, I think her name is Paris Paloma, and I just found I really liked the sound of her music. It's kind of got a dreamlike quality to it, and I kind of like that. And I the ones which kind of carry almost a story in them is kind of nice. There's one about a village, and it's just very the language in it is very poetic, and it's kind of nice. And I kind of fall into those things very easily. anything with kind of like a story and things. I don't tend to listen to that much that has repetition of lyrics, kind of like through chorus and verse and things. I kind of get bored of those fairly quickly. But music that sparks my imagination and sometimes tells a story or something like that, that stuff I can't get enough of. I'll listen to it again and again because there's always something else that I perhaps missed or something, and I can listen to and I can catch it again another time I listen. Comparatively to stuff which has a kind of a repetition to it. So like one of the groups I really like is the Mechanisms, and I really recommend just having a listen to them. There's a few like swear words here and there, but they are so creative. Like the stories that they tell through the albums that they release is absolutely great, and they kind of do like almost like sci-fi steampunky kind of versions of fairy tales and myths and legends and things. So one of them is based on Viking folklore and things, Viking gods and things, but rather than actually being about Vikings, it's about a futuristic train that travels through time and space to travel between the different worlds. And it goes a bit Cthulhu-esque as well, with kind of bringing on these kind of like interdimensional demons and things, which is kind of like what's bringing around Ragnarok. It's a really cool interpretation. They do a Wild West King Arthur as well, and what are some of the other ones that they've done? It's the Wild West King Arthur, and they do a Greek one as well, kind of on a almost like if you've ever seen it, kind of like the sci-fi TV series or the books is the original things. The books is the oh god damn it! It's a Netflix series where they kind of you can buy a new body and you wear it, and it's called a sleeve, and you could live as an immortal if you have enough money and you're rich enough. And they kind of use that kind of story basis for this Greek myth thing. So all the gods themselves, they're the ones who are basically rich people who live forever, and they're kind of almost mob bosses and things like that, and control everything that's going on in the lower worlds and things. Yeah, they're really good. And like the kind of like there's a number of different artists that are really good that sing in it. Everyone sings really well, but they also act really well in it as well. So it tells a story. So there's bits where they have conversations, and then it kind of goes into song, and the song is an extension of that conversation or things. Really, really, really super stuff. Man, they're so good. I haven't listened to them for a little while. I probably want to knock them out a little bit. But really, really cool stuff. I think, one of my friends, one of my co-workers, she really likes the guy that kind of organized that band. And she used to follow him on a podcast or something like that. And then when I mentioned, I'm listening to the Mechanism, she's like, oh, I love that guy's podcast and things. And through his podcast, I found out about his band, and it's so cool. But yeah. So I just recommend the Mechanisms. Just check them out if you've got like Spotify or Apple Music or something, and they're really cool. Also, I like kind of some steampunk music as well. That kind of follows into that same vein with bands like Steam Powered Giraffe, and what's his bloody name? There's a guy who does these kind of steampunk musicals. They're kind of cool. I forget his name though. music's kind of cool. There's also, obviously, I don't always listen to music that's just purely a story and things. There are other things. I like a lot of genres of music. I kind of fall into a lot of them, probably thanks to my dad. My dad kind of brought me up on a lot of blues. So I got like an appreciation for things like I as a kid I liked a lot of like John Lee Hooker and Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and then like some of the older stuff like Blind Lemon Jefferson and things, and of course Robert Johnson and things. They're really good. So I kind of got brought up on a lot of that. As I kind of got into my teens, I kind of first started with kind of a lot of indie things, like a lot of people did, and then kind of moved into a lot of metal. And metal has a lot of influences of blues in it, kind of thing, which is quite, might be kind of surprising, but it is very much linked to that. If you like hear a lot of interviews with metal bands and things, a lot of them talk about the blues and how influential they are. So I still listen to quite a bit of metal, but I tend to listen to metal now if I do workouts and things. So I kind of use that to energize me these days. I'm a bit more of I guess I listen to more somber music now. It's just more of that is, I guess, what I listen to now. But yeah. I could probably talk a while about my musical tastes and things. I think when I was like university and things, I got a lot into world music, again from my dad. And again, kind of going in that blues influence, I got into a lot of Mali music. Mali music's good. They like, so interesting. Like in Mali, there was a lot of the nomadic groups, like the Tuaregs. Now a lot of them, they were fighting kind of their own little wars and fights for territory and things like that. Not too long ago. But a number of them kind of like put down their guns to a certain extent to pick up the guitar, the electric guitar of all things. And their use of the electric guitar is like no other music. It's crazy. So I went and saw Tinari Wen. And there's something hypnotic about their music, and seeing it live is unbelievable. I've seen them twice live. They were really good. And so, like with Tinari Wen, I got kind of also from that Mali influence. I kind of got into a little bit of Ali Fakature. He's really good as well. Oh, I'm kind of having like flashbacks of all kind of like my musical tastes in the past. It's kind of weird. Not really thought about it very much these days. Might have to go back and have a listen to some of those groups. I also got into some kind of more kind of Indian influenced music as well. With what's his name? He was absolutely great. Forgot his name. I remember once I was in England where I was in university. Obviously, a lot of the taxi drivers up north in England, you have a lot of Indian or Pakistani descent, like taxi drivers and things. I remember being in a taxi and he was playing some music in the taxi, and I was like, "This is," and I forget the name now. I was like, "This is da 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 da." Nasrat Fateh Khan, that's his name. I was like, this is Nasrat Fateh Khan, this is awesome. And he was like, what? You know who Nasrat Fateh Khan is? I was like, yeah, this is great. It was kind of a funny moment for me because I was drunk as well at the time, so I was just like excited, and I'm a kind of like I'm one of the I'm a fairly happy drunk until I get to a certain point where everyone has that moment where you kind of have that crash and you're like, "Bah," and go all over the place and possibly turn into a more emotional drunk. But I was always I try to be as happy as possible until, say, when you're drunk, you can't really control your emotions so much. So obviously there's probably going to be times where I had complete crashes. But always at the initial parts of night, so I was a very, very happy drunk. I don't drink much anymore. I just have the odd drink in the evening. Not enough to get me slooshed or sloshed. The last time I got a bit drunk was actually at the family place. Speaking of alcohol, this is an alcohol drink. But yeah, it was, oh god, that music's good. I haven't listened to much of my world music collections for a while. But yeah, I'm getting through this guy a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about him, but I am getting him done slowly. I think I'm going to just paint everything up that I can and then see where I feel I need to touch up or change. That's probably going to be the way I'm going to go about this. I'm going to try and do the inner robes, perhaps purple. I think that will kind of just change that up enough. It'd be nice. I don't know why I'm mixing that one in. Got the wrong colour. Yeah. Right, right now I'm also waiting for some new brushes, which is kind of like bugging me at the moment because they're initially supposed to be coming around Christmas time, and obviously it's been a month now, and I'm just like, am I going to see them before February? Probably not. So I'm going to kind of keep working with my brushes that are starting to really show their age a bit at the moment. So I'm kind of feeling like I can't quite pull off the paint jobs that I feel I could do with the tools that I have at the moment. I think I can. I think I'm just making excuses, to be honest. But I'm really excited to try some new brushes, and I'm not quite getting the chance to do so. It's probably a good thing to an extent. I'm going to be having, I do have a new airbrush, which I need to use more and try out. So I want to try and maybe do a big model and play around with the airbrush a bit, maybe. Figure it out. Okay, I think that's enough for the I guess I got a bit there. There we go. Okay, so the next bit we can try and do is perhaps do some of the gold. Get the gold in there. I think my green armor also needs some extra little bits of highlights just to catch where the light is really hitting the reflections of like the edges, like just here, just along that rim, stuff like that. Not too fond of this song that I've got in my head at the moment though. This is one of hers. I don't really feel as much. Alright, skip that. I found the song that actually got me into her stuff in the first place, so I'll listen to that. Right, so there's going to be a lot of kind of gold in here now. So let's do the gold. There's quite a bit. So for my gold, so I need my heavy gold brown. I'll need the leather brown as well. So I'm going to be whistling out a tune and it's like, oh, that just doesn't sound good at all. Please stop. Let's put out the old ice yellow. Maybe committing sin. With someone like you. And I know just what I'll do. Alright, so first we're going to be placing some of our highlights roughly where the each bit of the gold will shine the most. It's not going to look great at first, but that's fine because that's the first step. We'll build up that. Just want to keep some of that brown in there, so keep the depth. That's our initial bit. Then we can do the next bit. We go with just the pure heavy gold brown. It's funny, I've always loved music a lot and absolutely awful at playing it. Do not have the ear or the skill for music at all. But I appreciate it a lot. Music's kind of a weird thing. I get the power of it is very curious to me. I myself am an atheist and not particularly spiritual or anything, but there's something is you would say is like music touches the soul in a way. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm feeling strangely philosophical tonight. I don't know why. Probably just sound rambly. Don't know. Get to once. What my grandfather told me. Tell you what my grandfather told me. Now we mix in a little bit of ice yellow. Grandfather told me it's not Sorry about yours, dear. Weird. My grandfather told me. Oh, did I? Okay. Must have dropped some frames earlier. Just seeing the message on it. Otherwise, I think I'm okay. Let me know if it gets choppy or anything. Should be okay, I think. Okay, that's the chest plate more or less done. It could do with a bit more work on it, but for a tabletop standard, I think it's all right. Right, next I've got to kind of plan out the pauldron. Needed a brother, I needed someone, I needed someone. Nobody thought if I had a friend. I'll see if this works. Thank you very much, Linda. These things are kind of fairly easy because there's a lot of detail there, so you can kind of just scuff it in there. It's going to be these kind of like these larger, flatter areas that I'm a bit more worried about. I don't think I could. I don't like this. Had a previous paint on it from a long time ago when I was a kid trying to paint this character. I never finished it and it looked awful, but it left a kind of a chalky residue, and even with like cleaning it off with alcohol, I couldn't quite get all of it off, so it leaves a little bit of a chalky residue over the whole model, which is a bit of a shame, but not the end of the world. Just kind of ruins the finish a little bit. Needed a man, I needed someone, I need someone. There we go. Reflection. Hmm. I'll clean that one up later once all this dries. I feel like I can't quite do it now until it's properly dried. But in this, you don't care if you made it darkness, a narcissist. I don't want a part in this. Care. For deals, but laughing still. Been nothing to see. Trying to place where some light might reflect. It's not a great job, to be honest. I think this is the one I'm going to be least proud of when I finish it, of the Dark Angels characters that I've painted. Narcissist. That. Okay, I've gone quiet as I focus on the painting a bit. It's all across. Well, touch mouth. There we go. There we go. Okay, it's almost there. It's an okay pauldron. It's okay. Let's just do one last run with just the pure ice yellow. Could have been up there to see. I do like the gold does kind of bring it up a bit. Like this, it just brings up the contrast, and it's starting to look a little bit better. Ooh. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Alright, so that's one pauldron done there. I've got the other pauldron to do. Alright, there we go. We'll just line some of that. Cemetery where I lay. Okay. Oh, the song I'm listening to right now is a curious one. Until it left me blind. She sings about how she looks up to the sky as shattered ice falls to her face and blinds her, which is quite horrifying in one way, but singing about how it was the most beautiful thing she ever saw before she was blind. Is that what's the name of the song? It's literally like the name of the song is "The last beautiful thing I saw is the thing that blinded me." I think there's more deeper meaning that you could try and look for in the song, but like there is kind of this whole thing of like looking up, seeing this shattered ice kind of falling, and it just before blinding her, it's kind of shining so beautifully in the sunlight. Something strangely pretty about it. The round head, the father head, the numbers. Get my strange kind of eclectic choice of music. I didn't know how. I looked up into the sun, paraded all the colors, and the ice that in my eyes it fell and made me blind. Up until the sun, parading all the colors, in my eyes it fell and made my blind. I know. I gotta stop listening to this kind of melancholy music. It puts me in strange moods. Corridor. Yeah, I'm gonna change the music a little bit for myself. Where's some of the mechanisms? There we go. Mechanisms and similar artists will be good. Then I get a range of things, and I'll probably get a little bit of the Crane Wives. They're really good. The bird in the shed. Put it in the head, not the chest. Sorrows around him, the whiskey. These dark angels, sculpted 20 years ago, they're really good. Like, just beautiful, beautiful models. Really well designed. Okay. There we go. Okay. I've been listening to a lot of the Wheel of Time series on Audible. It's been really good. The Amazon series is very disappointing. I read the first book and then I watched the series and, well, some of the series, and was like, this isn't really anywhere near what I imagine the Wheel of Time is from hearing the books. And now I'm 6-7 books in. They're long books as well, so it's like a 40-hour, sometimes like 30-40-hour Audible book. And I'm on like the 6th or 7th, maybe 7th book. They're really good. Really enjoying them. I'm literally just about to finish one, so I'm kind of geared up to listen to the next one. Here we go. Oh, I'm listening to the Wheel of Time series. I think, is it Robert Jordan? He sadly died in the middle of writing them, but another author kind of picked them up on the way. But they're really long but really interesting, really good. There was an Amazon TV series on the Wheel of Time, one season so far, but it's been pretty naff, not so great. But I'm enjoying the audiobooks. I'm about 7 in now, so I'm like fully invested in the story, considering each book is like 30 to 40 hours long. It's just got really good world building, and yeah, I'm just kind of enjoying it a lot. Just every so often kind of allow myself to just kind of get lost in that world. It's been good. I also enjoy it. It's a series that hasn't finished yet, but I pick up the book every time it comes out, and that's from the oh god damn it, what's the name of that series? Oh, I forget. It feels like very much like I would like to sit down and read books. I just don't have the time to actually sit down and read. So I kind of do audiobooks as I do other things. Because I do a lot of, I have to, I cycle to work and back, and then, oh, hello there, Mini Matties. Thank you for joining. Nice to see you there. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, I don't really get time to actually sit down and read very much, if ever, really. So I do a lot of audiobooks because when I'm not streaming, I can listen to the audiobook while I paint. I do it while I drive a car or ride the bicycle around. So that's kind of how I get through books. I've got some books that I've had for a while here, and I just haven't been able to sit down and read them because I have too many fingers in too many pies. But yeah, audiobooks have been fantastic. Having an Audible subscription has been great because it's like I get my credit every month, and I just get a book every month. And if I'm going through some long books and I've saved up some credits, I'll go and get it. I feel like, okay, it's okay for me to get a shorter book, and I feel okay about that. Plus, every so often they got some of the free books are quite good as well. So I try to absorb as much of that as possible. And I know some people have trouble focusing on audiobooks. I seem to do quite well with audiobooks. Yeah. Are there any audiobooks at the moment that you are listening to, or any kind of... I personally like a lot of fantasy and sci-fi series and things like that. So if there's any recommendations you had, I would love to hear them, because I'm always looking for like a good series to get into. It's just so nice to kind of get a good series of books going. I'll sometimes have some of the Warhammer ones. They're fun to listen to from time to time. I haven't listened to them for a while now. I've been kind of making sure I kind of broaden my horizons as much as possible, rather than just kind of stick in purely hobby land. Oh, Gotrek and Felix are great. Yeah, I've got a whole like series of audio dramas that I got from Humble Bundle, which were really good. So I like Gotrek and Felix. Yeah, and I've actually got the really old sculpts of Gotrek and Felix as well, like the super old ones back in England. So yeah, I got them somewhere. I have to dig them out and try and paint them one day. That'd be kind of cool. The old Gotrek sculpt doesn't quite look like the awesome new one. Celestine. Celestine, the 40k Celestine, I imagine. Awesome. You know, I quite enjoyed the Horus Heresy ones, just because it felt like, historical, kind of, the historical style to it almost is kind of cool. So I quite like some of the Horus Heresy stuff. Some of them are a bit naff, but I really enjoyed... I did enjoy the Emperor Children one. That one's screwy. That one's crazy. It goes a bit Hellraiser, Clive Barker-esque, which I kind of dug. It was kind of cool. And I really liked the... is it Legion? The one with the Alpha Legion. The first time... I think I did an audiobook of that the first time, and the first time I listened to it, I didn't quite like it. But that's one that you listen to again, or you read it again, and you just go, oh, and you see all the links and things, and it's just such an Alpha Legion story kind of thing because of that. It's like, do I like this book? I don't think I like this book. Oh no, I do like this book. It's like, how more Alpha Legion could you think? When you have a story, if it's not playing both sides of your feelings about it. But yeah, I haven't actually done any 40k books for a while. I did. I enjoyed the. I got like the Caiaphas Cain stuff. That's fun. I had them on audiobook. They were great. Kind of like. It is very cool. Oh, Thank you very much for following. Thank you, Mini Mattis. That's awesome. But yeah, they're really, really good books. But I'll try and check out Celestine maybe. I might throw a credit on Celestine and have a listen to that one. If you recommend that one, that'll be cool. That'll be awesome. So yeah, no, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure when someone, I know following and stuff is only a button and it doesn't really cost anything or anything like that, but it does, it means something that, you know, someone comes on, has a little chat and they want to follow. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm kind of getting there slowly with him. To be honest, he's not a great paint job right now. It's pretty bad. I've got, I'll show you the other ones I was doing. So I got Ezekiel and Asmodai as well. So this was my Ezekiel that I painted up. I was pretty happy with how he turned out, and I kind of had to go at freehand. I'm really bad at freehand, so I just had to go at that. That was kind of fun. But I was really happy with how much contrast this one came out with, and I really loved, like, I've never known how to paint like the blue like on ultramarines and things, but I really like the idea of using turquoise for the ultramarines, kind of the shine on the top kind of thing. It makes it just really, really ping. So there was that guy, and then I had Asmodai. I need to perhaps touch up his face a bit, make the face a little bit more intense, so you can kind of pull towards that. But I was pretty pleased with how these guys came out. They were kind of fun to do. They were really good. So yeah. Oh right, that's nice. The kit bashed ones are cool. So yeah. Right, that makes sense. I've seen that. I've seen a few people do that. I think they're really, really good. Yeah. He makes for a good Ezekiel. So yeah, Primaris Ezekiel. But yeah, I only just realized as I was painting these that they're releasing the new versions of Azrael and all of that. So it's quite surprised. It was quite interesting timing, considering I'm trying to sell these. So the fact that they got new ones coming out probably makes this harder to sell here in Japan, to be honest. I'm not sure how much people are that interested in vintage in Japan. I may try eBay, but I feel like the postage is just going to suck so much of the money out of what I can actually get for them. I don't know. I'll have to see. Thank you very much. I was pretty happy with how they both turned out. That's why I'm kind of like less happy about Azrael at the moment, but we'll see how he goes. Have your castle hours every dirty rascal. So yeah, I do enjoy doing gold NMM. Something strangely relaxing about painting it. I kind of like it, and it always has a fairly quick and striking effect. And at the end of the day, these guys are only kind of like good quality tabletop. Yeah, interested in those. I don't know how many want them painted or things like that. That's gonna be the trick. Like I always find it a laugh looking at the stuff on eBay and other places where it says like pro painted, and you look at it and you're like, that's not pro painted at all. That's just, you've just slapped some paint on and used a wash. Using wash doesn't make you a pro. That's a scrub move. So I remember when I did that. Yeah, it's just I don't like if it says pro painted, you know that they're the ones which are going to look terrible. So I refuse to put mine as pro painted. I just like it's painted, like as you can see it. Do you think it's worth the money I'm asking for? So I managed to sell some in Japan. Like I sold some corn demons, and I got a decent amount for the fact that I'm not doing it commission based. I'm just kind of selling it to see if people want them. I was pretty happy with how well they did. Apparently so. Apparently so. No, I found if it's a case of actually wanting to improve at painting and actually get good at painting, I'm still far away from being that good at painting. But limitations on yourself and kind of like cutting out those easy steps and removing those easy steps and those crutches that you have are going to be what makes you a good painter. So that's kind of what I'm always working on. It's like, okay, what is the crutch that I'm falling on at the moment? How can I remove that to give myself a challenge? And what area am I focusing on? Like, I guess 2022, or at least the second half of 2022 for me, was contrast. I noticed with a lot of my models that contrast was lacking and nothing was quite popping the way I wanted it to, and it wasn't really working for me. I would look at the models going, I feel like it's decently painted, but something about it is just not really jumping out at me. So I was like, okay, contrast seems to be the thing I'm missing. So everything now is like high contrast, and I really like that. Now I've got the high contrast up. What I'm trying to go for now is kind of smoother blends. These guys, I'm kind of not focused too much on that. Once I get back into my Infinity again, I'm going to be focused on smoother and smoother blends, working on perhaps layering, maybe a bit more stippling, because I don't do enough, certainly, of stippling to really pull off some really, really good stuff. Yeah, Infinity is my main thing. To be honest, this is like a stopgap for the moment while I kind of just sell some models to get some money to spend on hobby. So I'm painting up old minis that I never painted and then selling them. That's kind of like giving them the one bit of love that I can give them and then let them fly, go somewhere else. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. And it's kind of fun. It's like a nice palette cleanser doing all of these. Oh, right, nomads, nice. Yeah, nomads are quite popular with people. I never actually got into nomads. I've got my main army that I got for Infinity is Hak Islam. At least that was my first love. It's Hak Islam. Really like them, and Yu Ching. Then I got into a little bit of JSA. So I had a very small JSA army. And then finally when Defiance came out, I was like, I'm going all in on Shasvasti. So I'm getting Defiance, which gives me a whole army of them, and get extra Shasvasti as well, because I kind of dig their thing. So I got probably my largest army now is Shasvasti, followed by Hak Islam. And my Shasvasti are all pretty much painted up now. I've actually finished everything. The only thing I haven't painted in my combined army is from Defiance is the freaking, what is it? I've got it up here actually. Is the Megalodron. This bad boy here. This dude. I'll get him out because he's pretty big. I want to actually paint this one soon because I've got the new airbrush, and I thought the airbrush would be a good one for this. So it comes in 2 parts, so it's actually a pretty big bad boy. Can't really see, it's so big I can't show you on the camera really. And he fits on which way? That way. So yeah, he's this great big guy, so you can just kind of see him next to this dude. So he's pretty big. So I haven't painted him yet. So he'll be kind of a fun one to paint. It's a pretty cool sculpt for the plastic type style that they use here. I want to see if I could actually remove him from the base at all. I don't think I can. if I could, that would be handy to paint the bloody foliage on the bottom there, and the fact that there's like a dead Pano tag. But yeah, I don't know. I have to get to him eventually. I'm going to be getting even bigger models soon as well, so I got to paint this guy up as practice, because then I'm going to be getting Tag Raid, which has some really big ass models in it. Like, there's going to be a dragon that's probably twice as big as this thing, so that's going to be fun. Ah, okay. Haha, that's a nice trade. One painted Ariadne model for a small nomad force. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it'll be fun to paint that big one. Also, as well, with Tag Raid, I'll get rules for using that big guy in the games as well. So that'll be kind of fun. But yeah. Alright, where will I be? I've got to try and finish at least the gold on this guy today. That's the least I got to do. So, there was... Oh yeah, there's this thing down here that I was going to do. But yeah. But yeah, I've got a YouTube channel as well. And the YouTube channel, I've done a playthrough. I'm doing a playthrough of Defiance, and I'm doing it like fully animated, which is like taking forever to make. So the first 2 missions are on my YouTube channel. I'm currently editing the 3rd mission, and that's kind of where I've actually been able to get a very, very small Patreon support, which is very kind of my patrons. I kind of throw them try to throw them some extra videos of like visual effects composites I make, and I give them kind of like, as I edit a turn, I share that with them, and they can kind of feedback on that and help me kind of choose the right direction for the videos as well. So it's very nice having those. I got like two patrons, which are really super at helping me out. But trying to get that, it's difficult because I have trouble kind of making a lot of content all the time. So my YouTube is very slow at getting any kind of traction, I guess. But I'll just keep on having a go at it. I've got to try and actually perhaps tonight, if I feel like my throat is up to it, I'm going to record the narration for the rest of the Defiance video that I'm making. But y'all, oh God, I really enjoy painting NMM. So much fun. I remember when I first tried it, I was like so scared. There we go. Hey. Yeah, it can break your brain. Yeah, if you're doing like full plate armor, I did that actually for a Infinity model. I can get that one out. It wasn't originally going to be an MM, but it ended up being one. Oh, it's not in there, is it? It's in my Defiance thing. I can pull that out in just a second. I'm purposely distracting myself from painting. Oh. And yeah, it's kind of fun. Ooh, 75mm night. Oh my god, yeah, that sounds that sounds like it might break your brain a bit. Yeah, I think that's a very fair point. Here we go. There you are. That was this guy here, the Charon Tid. It was kind of fun. It's still a simple one though. Compared to like doing a night or something like that, and like a full plate night at 75mm, that's something completely different. But I enjoyed doing this one. This was kind of fun. It wasn't too hard or anything. It wasn't actually originally planned to be an MM, but it came out as a kind of an MM bronze type of thing. So I was pretty pleased with that one. That one was fun. I had a few See, I think this is an example of where I was like realizing, okay, my painting just doesn't have enough contrast. So you can see like how flat that is. And I was just kind of like, yeah, my painting doesn't look right. It just feels so flat and it's lacking shadows and depth and things like that. And then once I actually kind of was like, oh, okay, I figured out, okay, what I'm doing wrong. I think very shortly after I was doing stuff with a little bit it got like a little bit more contrast in as I was going along, and then eventually I got to the point where I felt like I was putting in a lot more contrast into my models. And I did one for the Reddit painting competition, but kind of hit mid-table with it, which was this Kusanagi model, good for the nomads. She was fun. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through some of my models that I've done in the last year. But yeah, I feel like I'm making solid improvement, which feels good because it's always sucks when you feel like you've fallen into a plateau and you're not improving when you want to. But I feel like I'm making good improvements, mainly because yeah, I'm trying to look for what's lacking in my work and then challenge myself by either through limitation or just getting better. Oh, by the way, Minimat, do you have like an Instagram or something? I always like to see people's work and what they've done. I'd love to have a look. If you have a picture of that night as well, I'd love to have a look at it. Oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I'd love to see it. That'd be great, yeah. And if you're okay, I can share it on the stream a bit if you like. Oh, lovely. I'll come and see that. I'll just finish this little bit here. Let's go and have a look at it. Are you okay with me showing it on the screen, on the stream? I'll just get your permission on that first. If not, I'll just have a look at it myself. Yeah. No, I'm happy. If I'm going to go and have a look at it, I might as well get everyone else looking at it as well. I need a kind of practice using the stream for different things as well. So let's just get that. Right, let's go. There we go. Right, so let me just, I got two screens, so I'm going to be back and forth a little bit on them. Oh, wow. Okay, it's just come up for me. I'm just going to add the source. Add a new source. Add source. Where are we? There it is. Okay. Done. Okay. So we can I've kind of got it up in the screen in a bit of a weird way, but I can just kind of see that. I'll see if I can crop it. There we go. But yeah, that looks lovely. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave that up there as it is. So yeah, you can see there. That's looking lovely. That's really nice. I can see why it would have broken your brain, but you've got some really lovely blues across the steel. I always find doing the silver is the one that, yeah, breaks my head more than the gold. But that looks lovely, and I love that green, that kind of the green cloth velvet diamonds you've got there, along with the silky purple. Oh, that's lovely. That is really super. Okay, I'm gonna just follow you. That's great. Yep, I'm definitely following that. I just like that there. Thank you. That's great. Absolutely super. Brilliant, brilliant. That's really super. I was really happy to see that. I was kind of like getting the impression when you were like chatting away that like, oh, this guy's probably really good at painting. He's probably better than me as well. And then yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's great. Really, really super. Yeah, you're really. If I was to do that kind of model, it would have. I would have broken under the pressure trying to think, where the hell do I put these bloody highlights? And where do I put these reflections? And what do I reflect? And things like that. Oh, that's great. I do like seeing that. And that, because I know how some people can kind of get put off by other people being very, very good at something. And you just kind of see that massive gap between your own skill and theirs. And it can kind of get you down. But for me, like, I think this is like the one thing that I do that where I see, I bet it took about 50 hours to make it. I bet it did. I can imagine completely. But this is the one like hobby and stuff where I see other people's work that's really good, and all it does is drive me to get better and try and do that and try and get there one day. Of course they did, because like you cannot reverse that need to have it at a certain standard. It was just funny. It's crazy though, because you end up with like one model and you're like, I remember when I did like 5 models a night to kind of get through an army, And now I barely get through one model in a week and things. It's crazy, yeah. But yeah. But for me right now, that's probably because I'm just talking too much and not actually focused on my my painting enough. Yeah. Just notice the skull down here. Yeah. Super. Really like seeing that. That was good. Yeah, seeing the pros at work is unbelievable, isn't it? It's it's obviously one of the ones who always comes up in names, and just because I see his videos every so often, is like Geraldes, Angel Geraldes, Angel. I always forget the Spanish pronunciation of Angel of the name, but his stuff is like watching him, like just like in a few minutes, just like make something look great. He's really really good. Zaba art. Okay. Okay, I'll have to check that one out. Zaba art. Okay. Because I really like the ones I really like kind of seeing their work on, and sometimes you can say this, they show you the step by step on Instagram in the pictures, is I think it's like Mascalen's miniatures. He's really good. He's got like an artwork style, like almost like his work just looks like it's 2D, beautifully painted artwork, and then you realize it's actually a fully three-dimensional model kind of thing. Yeah. Wow. I gotta check out Zabra. I feel like I've probably seen some of his things. The name is ringing a bell inside, but I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, I like Masculine Miniatures, and I think there's an Australian guy as well. I forget his name. God damn it. But yeah, they're really really good. And like for like just for YouTube stuff, I really like is it Marco Frizzoni? Yeah, Masculine's is on another level, isn't he? He's just phenomenal. I just absolutely great. Big Deno. Oh, I've got to check these people out. I'm gonna review the chat in this afterwards and look up everybody. But yeah, I have to check him out. That's awesome. Oh, good. I've got some artists to check out afterwards, which should be good. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Right, super. I've got lots to go and check out later. I'll just kind of have a look through some of them on my phone, perhaps in bed before I go to sleep. What time am I actually on at the moment? Oh, it's 11:30 here. Okay. I could have finished this ages ago. I've just been caught up in chatting, which is great. I love this is why I kind of do the stream, is just every so often I just get some really nice people come on and have a nice chat with them. Putty and paint. Really? Okay, new stuff for me to check out. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Putty and paint. Super duper. that's gonna be now probably my go-to place now. The thing is, yeah, I've been kind of like not watch. I kind of avoid watching too much of like the YouTube style painters. I kind of get a little bit. They all go the samey, and it's like speed painting and things. I've got no interest in speed painting, and it's like, I don't know, yeah, it's just a lot of that kind of stuff, from like the bigger channels anyway. So I tend to watch completely different, unrelated things on YouTube from the hobby, to be honest. But it'll be good to have something perhaps where I can actually look at that kind of stuff on somewhere else. So putty and paint, cool. Try and get this last little bits done here. All right, lovely. Okay. All right, I feel like I've done the main bit of gold that I need to do on everything. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've still got the power sword to do. I've got to figure out what color I want to do the power sword. And he's got to do the bolt gun. And then just a few more details. The inner robes, I want to try and do purple perhaps. Redo a bit of the face because that needs some work, and obviously do the hair. Then I got the big effort of actually making the bloody banner, and Azrael's banner's the hardest of the three, so that's gonna be fun as well. So hopefully I get some time to do those. Otherwise, for now, I think I'm gonna have to call the stream to an end, especially if I need to do some audio recording for my Defiance video. I don't want to leave that too late. I don't want to wake up my daughter. But yeah, if not that, do a little bit of editing before bedtime, perhaps. But yeah, I'm really happy to have some people on the stream, to have a really good chat. Yes, thanks. I'm terrible at freehand, but that's why I do it, because I'm terrible at it, and it's the only way to get better. So I'll see if I can. All right, thanks so much for joining the stream. Have a lovely, lovely day at whatever time you are in, whatever time zone you are at, and take care. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.